In the Kingdom of Eldrath, the air was thick with anticipation as the sun dipped below the jagged peaks of the Darkwood Mountains. The villagers whispered of the impending ceremony, a rite of passage that would determine the fate of the young mages as they approached their 20th year. It was said that the bond forged between a mage and their mythical beast would unveil the truth of their destiny, but the tales told in hushed tones warned of a darker reality. Not all beasts were benevolent, and not all futures were bright. As the moon rose high, casting an eerie glow over the ancient stone circle where the ceremony would take place, Alara stood at the edge of the gathering. She was a gifted mage, her powers evident even as a child, but the weight of the night pressed down on her. The stories of beasts that had devoured their companions, leading them to madness or doom, clawed at her mind. What if her future was not one of greatness, but of despair? The ceremony began with the chanting of the elders, their voices echoing through the night. One by one, the young mages stepped forward, each calling forth their beast. A fiery phoenix emerged for Aiden, its wings ablaze with hope, while a serene unicorn appeared for Lyra, symbolizing purity and healing. But as Alara watched, a chill ran down her spine. The beasts were not just reflections of their bearers but harbingers of their fates. When her turn arrived, Alara's heart raced. She stepped into the circle, her palms sweaty and her breath shallow. "Show me my companion," she whispered, her voice trembling. The air crackled with magic, and from the shadows, a creature emerged, an obsidian serpent, its scales glistening like shards of glass under the moonlight. Its eyes, cold and calculating, locked onto hers, and a shiver of dread coursed through her. "Behold, the Serpent of Shadows," the elder intoned, his voice laced with unease. "It is a creature of prophecy, a reflection of darkness that lies within." Alara staggered back, her heart pounding. The serpent coiled around her, its presence suffocating, whispering secrets of betrayal and loss. In that moment, she understood. Her future was not one of heroism or glory, but a path shadowed by fear and treachery. As the serpent's voice slithered into her mind, it revealed visions of a kingdom in ruins, of friends turned foes, and a betrayal that would lead to her own downfall. As the night wore on, the other mages celebrated their newfound companions, but Alara felt isolated, trapped in a web of darkness. The serpent fed on her despair, growing stronger with every doubt that crept into her heart. She sought counsel from the elders, but their warnings only deepened her dread. "The serpent is a reflection of your fears," they said, "but it can also be a source of strength. You must learn to control it." Days turned to weeks, and Alara struggled to master her bond with the serpent. It whispered cruel truths, taunted her with visions of her potential demise. But as she fought against the darkness, she discovered an unexpected power within herself. She learned to harness the serpent's shadows, bending them to her will, transforming her fear into strength. Then came the fateful night when the kingdom was threatened by a rival clan, their forces marching toward Eldrath with bloodlust in their eyes. The mages gathered, ready to defend their home, but Alara stood apart, the serpent coiling protectively around her. In that moment of crisis, she realized that the darkness she had feared could be wielded as a weapon. With a roar, she unleashed the serpent's power, shadows swirling to form a barrier that repelled the invaders. The battlefield erupted in chaos, but Alara stood firm, her heart steady. The serpent, once a harbinger of doom, became her ally, its shadows cloaking her friends and amplifying their magic. Together, they turned the tide of battle, driving the enemy back into the night. As dawn broke over the horizon, the kingdom stood victorious. Alara, once burdened by fear, now embraced her destiny. The serpent, no longer a mere reflection of her darkest thoughts, had become a symbol of her strength. She understood that the path of a mage was fraught with shadows, but it was also illuminated by the light of courage and resilience. In the end, the Kingdom of Eldrath learned that the true nature of a beast was not defined by its appearance, but by the bond forged between mage and creature. And as Alara gazed into the rising sun, she realized that her future, though shadowed, was hers to shape.